everybody, welcome back to the Bison Workshop. I'm Bob, and you have to forgive the mess. I just got finished bringing this thing up to the 2000s. We just put DRO on it, and I had to put all the slides on it, and I think I did a pretty decent job. Had to remake a couple parts because one side's a little different than the other, but I'll go into what all I've done to this thing. But before we do, make sure you've got your trunk coffee, because if you don't, you're not going to get anything out of this. So anyway, I went ahead and decided to get a kit. It's a eye gauging Easy View DRO Plus. And what it comes with is 3 slides, a reader, and 3 displays. Now I think there's a monitor or a some kind of a pad that you can get where you can run it like a regular DRO. I'd like to find that. If anybody knows where to find that, let me know. But we'll put my coffee down here, and I think I got coffee grounds in it this time. Time to change the filter. 20 times is too many times, right? Alright, so these are all the extra parts I had left. Parts of the original meal. Took some parts off of it. I took the original DRO off of it. And man, that's a heavy little bastard too, man. Well, I can't get it out of there. I think I need to have some more trunk coffee. I took that off, and basically I just duplicated it. And I mean, it worked out so beautifully, it's unbelievable. And it was actually not that bad to do. So I'm gonna leave my mesh here so you guys can see what happens when progress happens. This is work, and I screwdriver thing fell down and spilled everywhere. But anyway, I had to do some milling to make these parts, and I'll show you these parts here if I can get you up here a little closer. For starters, I had trouble with this thing being trimmed, and it seemed like every time you turn around, this thing would cock just a little bit and be off by about I think it was like 10 thousandths maybe. I mean, it was off. And it was pissing me off because every time I'd go to frickin' fly cut something, and I used the fly cutter, it leaves waves. So I had some pretty wavy work. But anyway, I made these blocks right here, and basically all that is I put 3 mounting screws to mount it to this block right here. Alright, and then I put a bigger thread here, which is 3/8, I believe. Let me check. Yeah, 3/8 16 bolt, and I put a nut on it so that once I got this, I put one on the other side also. but I made both of these anticipating using the same thing on the other side. So I made 2 of these, and my machining's a little off, but you know what, I don't give a shit. If you do give a shit, you're the wrong channel. And then on the other side, and we got it up on the high side of the pivot. The ideal place to have the adjuster would be up here at this point, where you have to hit it with a freaking hammer to get it to move. This thing is the devil to tram in. So when I had my clamp on there, my C-clamp, it worked okay. It never went out. So this basically replaces the C-clamp, and I've mounted it so that I can adjust this back and forth, because this is just a hair wider than this is. So there's allowance in between there, just enough for me to get this thing trammed in. It ain't much, but it did get trammed in. So now I'm trammed in, and we're going to test that, because I did buy a double dial indicator holder to put in here so I can make sure it's trammed. Of course, I got to take this off, and I just got it trammed too, man. This thing is straight. And I've got this within half thou. So Z-axis is half thou off. So I think I'm going to leave it just like that. So I'll show you what I did on this side. Let me move some stuff here so I can set you guys down. I come around here, and I'm going to have to move everything. And I put the same thing right here, except I had to change this one, because originally, remember, I was going to use this one. The problem with this side is this one's got the adjuster for the gib. So if I would have used this one, I would have drilled right through my pin or my adjuster. We don't want that. So I had to go in between here and the wall here to put 2 in it. And I'd rather it be a triangle, but you know, you can't do any more than you can do, because there's no place else to put a screw. So then this one here is tight, and the other side is tight, and then I've got a lock nut on both of them. See? Look at that big old lock nut. Alright, so then we put the DRO on it. They all work. Alright, so I'm going to 0 all of them. And the way that I have it set up is the top one is for the Z-axis. And you see what I was talking about right there. This here was in there, and look at that. It's so perfect, man. It worked out perfect. The only thing I had to do with the original bracket that mounted to the back of this that held it in, it actually was the same distance on the back. Everything was exactly the same. All I had to do was take the bracket off of that one, or this one, and put on that one. But then I had to make them slots, not holes, so that it would adjust up and down. So it would adjust to where I didn't have to do anything to this. And it filled it in pretty nice. And it's just a hair proud of it, if you can see that. And it's dirty right now. But we're working on the bench too. I put a backsplash on it. My buddy Dale brought me that big piece of steel when I was needing a ramp on my new building I was gonna buy, or was buying, and I ended up not using it, so I just turned it around. And what it is, it goes that way up and then that way, the same as this. So this here, it looks like that underneath there, but going in the opposite direction. Now I just put a piece of walnut board on it, and I think I'm going to put a longer or a wider one here, because I'm thinking I want to build or drill some holes for my chuck, this, and I've got some, let me get you stationary here so I'm not making you sick. Oh, probably ought to finish showing this, huh? But anyway, this one here is my Z-axis. Well, I gotta unlock it. As I'm turning it. Alright, 0 it. Now I just pulled it backwards. Alright, we're gonna re-0 it. Alright, I'm not even touching it. It's showing a 0.01. Alright, now if I turn that, it doesn't return back to where it was. Now it's plus 3 more. Alright, and then I just manually pushed it back. I think I need to oil this thing, man. It's not, doesn't seem to have enough spring to it. Alright, so everything still works. I can close that off, and I can use that. And basically all I did was duplicate that, because that's what it looks like inside there. Drilled the 2 holes in the bottom of the rail, cut it off the size. The only difference is this is a box, that's a face. Alright, and then we went and put this down here, and see I got a little bit of this left. That stuff can be used for other ones. All you need would be the sensor. But this is a mess right now. This is not the way this is going to stay. You know, I just got finished milling, so I'm still cleaning up. It was 10 times worse than this. But I had this bracket right here, and it was already bent, but I just had to change the bend a little bit to match this bend, because it comes down and then right here it starts coming to a taper. So that kind of actually happened by accident. I had that piece of metal that was already bent. It already looked like it belonged to it, so naturally I had to make sure it did. It was. And then these here were pretty simple. I just drilled them and tapped them on both sides. And the cord, I want to get some more of this stuff right here to put around this one over here, but I'm probably going to make some kind of a shield right here, and it's not a bad idea to just make me a shield or something that comes out over here like this, all over the whole thing, because this is never going to come this way. So you can put whatever you want right in here. So I'll probably end up making something to go over this, and hell, it probably wouldn't hurt to have a little drawer or something underneath there, but we don't know. Alright, and then this one here, I just shimmed it right here, because if you take this and don't shim it between the green and the black. I better get you up here where I'm pointing. The green and the black one here, there's a gap in between here. Well, before I didn't put that gap, I just put it up flush. Well, when it came up to the end here, it was hitting the edge of this. So I had to put a washer behind it to bring it out. And this one was actually painless too. That bracket there was already made. In fact, I had to cut a piece out of this because this here and this, there's another one that goes here like this one. This one here, I couldn't never get it to turn. So I had to cut that down and cut that around, and that worked out a little bit better. But then I ended up saying to hell with that, I'm not going to use that one because it's up there in the way of everything. And by rights, I should have taken that over here like that a little bit, you know, to break that off. Or even took it out here a little bit further and cut it off. That way I could have got to it. But because of this, we're going to leave this one out, and this is all I'm going to need to tighten up for rigidity. Yeah, it's nice to have them both, but you can't always have your cake and eat it too. In fact, I don't think you can. Now, under here, I just made that little plate right there out of the piece that I cut out up there, and I just drilled 3 holes in it. 2 holes to screw the plate to this sensor, and then I used the existing hole that the crossfeed stop hit on, because it used to have, and in fact I used the stops right here and the T-nut for that stop and the screw. Just drilled this hole out a little bit bigger, and I used the same screw that come out of the round stop that you slide back and forth in that track. So but we had to sacrifice one of our tighteners to hold the table tight, but that's fine. I'm not ever cutting any more than 5, maybe 10 thousandths at a time. 10 thousandths is pushing it for me. I baby this thing, but I was able to keep this down here by putting the sensor and stuff on this side. So so now we've got our power feed, and I actually need to relocate these switches. These here are in a bad location. I'll tell you why. You can't leave your handles on, because if you're over here trying to do this, these handles are going to be in your way. Well, I can't even get it to screw in, to be in my way. Here I'm trying to put it my way and I can't get it in my way. Alright, so when I start coming down with it, I gotta move my hand in real close to keep that from hitting, and then me get stuck and hit something. So it's a bad idea for these switches to be right there. Plus now I've got this in the way, and you can see how close that comes to it. Yeah, I can see my finger getting caught in that. So these need to move. So I don't know where I'm going to move them, but we got to move those, and I'm thinking right up here. We might grab another piece of aluminum plate to continue this out and do this side, and have these 2 switches up here. That would be cool. So basically we'll just have to make us another cover I don't know, we might not even have to do anything. I could probably just print out a damn logo there, Bison logo. I mean, this is built by Bison, so why not put a Bison logo right there and just leave that like it is and just run these wires longer to run, I don't know where the hell we'd run them. Yeah, that might be a little interesting. Because this head moves up and down. Might have to rethink this. Because that would be cool to have a panel up here. Well, let's see. No, it'd still be station. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me look here. Nope. That's where I stop. I always stop when the thing gets around the top of this here pulley. I don't like my frickin' switch. Sometimes that thing sticks on. See? That's a momentary switch. That's not supposed to be doing that. See, it does that way. See, it don't that way. So, I need to get another momentary switch, because that one's a piece of junk anyway. What I need to actually do is make a new plate right here to come all the way up around here. Hell, for that matter, I could bring it all the way up around here and use this as my mounting and take it all the way up to the top of this, so that it all kind of, that'll hide all this stuff, but then I wouldn't be able to see my stuff behind there, so I probably only want to go about this high. Bring this on up, and maybe even bring this down on this side, because we really don't want to get too much into our work, because if it's something we had to angle to put in here, that might be in the way. Well, no, it won't. I'm overthinking. We just need to make us another one to go from here to here, but it won't be fancy like that. It'll just be regular flat aluminum like that right there. So that's why I don't run my handles on my quill. And we got some stuff. Let me tell you a little story. There's this man named Dale, and he trapped me the other day. He got me good. He said, I'd like to go to Harbor Freight. And I wasn't going to go. Then I got to thinking about it. There is a few things that I need to get for this meal, because I want this thing to be right. And anyway, he gets me there. I start looking around. That was all it took. I can't stand going to Harbor Freight. Because I leave there broke. So I bought these parallels. And I don't even think they got any markings on them. Oh yeah, they do. Very lightly. Jesus Christ, to spare any freaking ink. 1/8 by 1, 2 by 6. What the hell does that mean? That'd be a 1/2 inch by 6 inch. So it's 1/8 inch. Okay, I got it. 1/2 inch. Now I see how they mean the uh, 2X's. Never mind. I was having a blind moment there. It's 1/8 inch wide, half inch, well, it's 1/8 inch thick, half inch wide, and 6 inches long. And then it goes up to 5/8. What? "5/8"? I don't think so. So let's see if we can decipher this. I swear to God, why don't they say what they mean and mean what they say? Alright, 1/8, we got that. That's the thickness. So it's 1 5/8. By 6. So it's 1 5/8, not 5/8. Dumbass. We'll find the 5/8 just because we were looking for the 5/8, and I bet you it's not that one. It's probably that one. Yep, 5/8. There's the 5/8. Finally, we found it. But anyway, been needing the set for a long time, and then I ended up getting a set of sockets for a metric, 1/4 inch drive socket set for metric and standard. Mine were in pretty rough shape. Some of them were busted, and ratchet I've been using for 25 years, and it'll probably last another 25. And guess what? It's a frickin' China one. So I'm starting to have a little more faith in China. There really ain't a whole hell of a lot wrong with their stuff. We just like to complain about it. Just because we can, right? So, let me show you what we made our slugs with. This here is what we got for melting lead, and runs off of 110, and then I got 18 pounds of that. That's heavy, and I don't know why. I don't need any more slugs. I got plenty to last me a lifetime. I shoot once in a blue moon. But we ended up getting a few things. Had to get a where did I put it? Oh, over here. I ended up getting one of these because this can be used as a way to put in your, take this and screw it off, the magnetic part, and just have the rod, and that will go right into your chuck, and you can use this to dial indicate your stuff. So I use this one for in the chuck to get my Z where it's supposed to be. And then I use this one to tram this in. So she's pretty good shape. I swear to God, I wish they would have never made that so it could swivel. That should have been one big solid block. But that's the upgrades on the Grizzly. Well, that seems a little loose. We'll have to check that out. Well, hell, it's a good thing I was using that jaw. That's not very tight. What the hell's going on there? Yeah, I gotta investigate that, because I don't remember that being like that. That thing shouldn't be able to do that, I don't believe. It may, I don't know. I don't remember being like that. But don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. And you guys have a good one. Later.